Hi students, welcome back to a video series on signals and systems. In this video, we will see why signals and systems look like mathematics. This is a million-dollar question asked by many of the students pursuing engineering degree in ECE, EEE, E&I, IT and biomedical. When they start studying, they will see that there are some concepts in signals and systems, and when they move on in the subject, they will feel that signals and system is almost like mathematics. Why it is so? Actually, there are two answers for this question. The first answer is that the main aim of subject signals and system is to create mathematical abstraction and modeling of practical signals and system. The main aim itself is to create mathematical abstractions or mathematical models for practical systems. Then obviously the subject will look like mathematics. That is the first reason. The second reason is that generally in universities, signals and system is taught from an analytical point of view rather than a practical point of view. There is a reason for that. The signals and system subject is considered as a classical subject in the entire engineering, and people from different branches will study this subject. So we can teach this subject only as a common subject. So at that time there is some limitations to go application specific or branch specific. Because of that reason, the textbooks for signals and system is also written with this idea in mind. And we should note that this is because of wide range of applications of signals and systems, because the concepts we study has applications in electronics and communication, it has application in electrical engineering, it has application in information technology, it has application in biomedical engineering, it has wide variety of applications. So the basic idea of abstraction and modeling is given here. In abstraction, we look at many real life situations and signals associated with them and ask certain questions about those signals and system. Then we will keep all the details of the system into a block. Here you can see it is marked as a system. Then we consider the relation between the input signal x of t and output signal y of t. So in mathematical models, we will consider all the signals as mathematical functions. You might have studied about functions like f of x, g of x, right? So we will consider all the signals we encounter in the subject signals and system as mathematical functions. So basic understanding of mathematical functions is essential to understand the subject signals and system. While asking those questions with respect to the system based on the relationship between the input and output, we should be able to address the issues that relate to many signals or systems at once. So we can answer the questions to many engineering fields at once. So that is the basic idea of abstraction. We can understand the idea of mathematical abstraction using the two systems which we have discussed in the previous video. The first case is mass on a frictionless surface, and the second system is capacitor on a circuit. We have seen that in the first case the equation is given as f of t is equal to m into d by dt of v of t, where v of t is nothing but velocity. So rate of change of velocity into mass, that is given as the force in this equation, right? Now consider the case capacitor on a circuit. That is also a system we have analyzed in the previous video series. Here the current flowing through the circuit I of t is proportional to the rate of change of voltage across the capacitor. So C into d by dt of VCT. So here VCT is the voltage across the capacitor. Voltage across capacitor. Now if you carefully observe, you can see that in these two cases the equations are almost similar. You can see here f of t is there, here I of t is there, here m is there, here c is there, and there is a derivative in both the cases, d by dt, here velocity and here voltage across the capacitor. So there is some similarity between these equations. One system is from mechanical engineering and another system is from electrical engineering. Now for example, I can consider the mass on a frictionless surface system as an example, and I can do all the analysis of the signals and system based on this equation. But what happens, others may not understand what I am talking, or they may not be able to relate all these concepts into their own subject, right? And if I start explaining everything with respect to current and voltage, mechanical mechanical engineering students may not be able to understand how can I use this concept of signals and system in their subject. To avoid this confusion, we will go for the concept of mathematical abstraction. So instead of I of t or f of t, we will consider something like x of t, right? We will say that this is the input signal. So this input signal can be from mechanical engineering or electrical engineering or anything, biomedical engineering. We are not concerned about that. We will call it as x of t, right? And the same d by dt is there, and the output I will call it as y of t. So I will call it as output signal, and the constant I can just give gamma or any Greek letter or English letter to represent the constant of proportionality. So this is the basic idea of mathematical abstraction. So I will consider the mechanical engineering scenario and electrical engineering scenario. Then I will check how can I extract the essence from these two cases. And how can I represent it generally? So that engineers from both the branches can use it in their own fields based on the practical application. So that is the basic idea of mathematical abstraction. So we can define mathematical abstraction like this. Look at different situations in our life or different practical examples or different practical systems and signals, bring out what is common and create an abstraction to make our life easier. Instead of explaining everything in terms of mechanical engineering or explaining everything in terms of electrical engineering, create an abstraction. So let us have x of t as the input signal, right? And there is a system, and there is an output signal y of t, right? So we can apply the result into electrical engineering or mechanical engineering or biomedical engineering or any engineering field of our choice, right? So bringing out what is common, what is the essence, that is the basic idea of mathematical abstraction. So we can understand this better using this numbers idea. Do you remember how you started learning counting? So we will say 1 book, 2 umbrellas, 3 candles, 4 pencils, 5 balloons. Like that we have started learning, and when we have grown up or when we have moved to higher classes, we have removed this book, umbrella, pencil or pen or candle or balloon, everything, and we have started representing everything symbolically using these numbers, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, like that we have started representing all these things using numbers. And when we move to higher classes like high school, 9th or 10th, then instead of numbers we have started using P, Q, X, Y, R, Z, all these letters to represent or generalize the numbers, right? So these are different levels of abstractions. The same thing is happening in signals and system also, right? Extraction of the common and essential attributes from several different situations at once is known as mathematical abstraction. Extraction of the common and essential attributes from several different scenarios or situations at once is known as mathematical abstraction. We are adopting the same idea here in signals and system also. That is the reason why the subject signals and system looks like mathematics. I hope I have answered the question. So here instead of writing f of t or I of t, we will just write x of t is equal to gamma into d by dt of y of t. Now we can directly deal with this abstraction and arrive at conclusions using some mathematical manipulations. The process of abstraction helps us to reduce our work so that we can conduct study of all the situations at once. Instead of going to analyze the mechanical system separately, electrical system separately, biomedical system separately, we can extract this essence and we can conduct the study for all the situations at once. So when we reach to some answers or some conclusion, we can apply that results back to the practical systems or practical situations, right? So because of this reason of abstraction, most of the times signals and system look like mathematics. Another question asked by students is the subject signals and system is an easy subject to study? So signals and system is like mathematics. In mathematics, we have only a few concepts to understand. These fundamental concepts are connected as chains to each other to form more complicated concepts. That being said, we should keep in mind that if you miss some in-between concepts in this so-called chain, we may be completely lost. That means to learn mathematics, you must know the prerequisites thoroughly. If you miss the prerequisite concept in signals and system, you may feel like you are completely lost. But don't worry, we will try to cover all these prerequisite ideas also in this video series. If you learn the fundamental concepts thoroughly without missing any links, then the subject is very easy and you will love the subject signals and system. So keep in mind that this subject is very important, as the concepts we learn in this subject will again appear in some other subjects as a prerequisite concept. For example, digital signal processing, control system, analog communication, digital communication, wireless communication, image processing, biomedical signal processing, biomedical instrumentation. In all these subjects, these concepts will again reappear. We can say that signals and system is one of the most fundamental subject for almost all branches. So all the students, please make sure that each and every link in the subject signals and system are very strongly connected and intact in your learning process. Always remember that when you learn some abstract mathematical model, formulas, equations, derivations, etc. in the subject signals and system, some engineers at some part of the world is using it for real-time applications. Now, what are the prerequisites required to study the subject signals and system? So there are some prerequisites. You must have some knowledge about light, sound, optics, waves, current and voltage. Sometimes we will try to connect the concepts we discussed to the practical applications. At that time, the science concept may be required. And coming to engineering, you must have the fundamental concepts in electronics, circuits, sensors and actuators. A basic level understanding is required. We need some fundamental understanding of the concepts from mathematics, because the main aim or objective of the subject signals and system is to create mathematical abstraction or models for the real-time or practical signals and systems. So because of that reason, these concepts are very, very important from mathematics. They are complex numbers, trigonometry, exponentials and complex exponential, vectors, matrices, determinants, linear algebra, partial fractions and calculus. So I know that I have covered almost all the areas in mathematics which you have learned in school, but fundamental concepts from all these mathematical branches will appear in the subject then and there. So if you have any confusion, I request you to go back to your mathematics textbook and cover those concepts for better understanding of the subject signals and system. And finally, from technology point of view, it is always great if you learn programming the concepts you learn in signals and system using MATLAB or Python or Scilab. Scilab and Python are open source tools, and MATLAB is a proprietary tool which is available in most of the engineering colleges. If you try to program some of the concepts you learn in signals and system, then you will have a better understanding about the subject. That are the prerequisites which are required to study the subject signals and system. So I wish you all a happy learning, and we will see again in the remaining video lectures. Thank you very much for your patient listening.